What is going on, guys? My name is Benjo, and I got a new series for you guys today. It's called Pro Talk, and what Pro Talk is, I'm going to be sitting down with a pro. I'm going to be talking to him. We're going to learn a little bit about the competitive scene, and as you've noticed lately on my channel, I've kind of trended towards the game battles matches, those live callouts. It seems like you guys like them, and I thought this would be the next step. And today, my first guest is my boy FoRePLayy. You want to say hello?
Hey, channel. Yeah, this is FoRePLayy from Team Envious. Met Benjo a while back, I guess, and yeah, it's good to be finally on a commentary with him. So
yeah, absolutely. We actually FoRePLayy was the first pro player I ever had the opportunity to play with, and just playing with him, watching how he plays, stuff like that, really blew my mind. And then we also had the opportunity to play together in the Call of the Community tournament.
Which, if I may add, Benjo went off on that tournament. 19-10, one of the games on Summit. I remember.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid game, not bad. And the whole thing about the Call of the Community tournament, first of all, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm glad that it finally got put together, stuff like that. But our team as a whole, a lot of people don't know this. The first time all of us actually played together was that first match, our first match.
Yeah.
And, playing competitive, a lot of those teams that were in it were able to play together, were doing scrims, they had callouts, they had strategies. Like, we went over strategies a little bit, but, I mean, it's completely different.
We actually made it pretty far, though, didn't we? Didn't we make it, like, quarterfinals? Is that right?
Yeah, we won the first match, then we lost the second, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, still, it was fun. We played pretty well, and even we could have won that second game. We just kind of let it slip, but that's all right. That's how it goes. But, so you want to talk about this game we're watching, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's a competitive playlist, Havana CTF, and I'm running around with the AK-74U trying to be a Slayer.
Okay, this is a great topic. You're a Slayer. What does that mean in the competitive scene? Because I'm sure that there's a lot of people watching this that maybe have no idea what that means.
Yeah, if you break it down with, like, MLG teams, most teams have an objective player, a support player, and two Slayers. One of them is normally like a main Slayer who gets more kills than the secondary Slayer, but for me being a Slayer in this game type, most of the time you could tell your Slayers from your objective players because of, like, the OBJ player will go for like the flags or the bombs on searches, and they have like set routes to where your Slayers know like where to get your cutoffs and like where to set up to where like the kills will kind of funnel to you, I guess.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Now, is there a reason why you're a Slayer?
I just don't have the patience to play objective, because if you play objective, you'll find yourself going like 8-20 or, you know what I mean, like 10-20, and those numbers can just reflect back. But like, as long as you're pulling the flags, that's all that really matters, you know? And I just don't have the patience to do that, so. Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean. And playing competitive, man, it's a whole different game style. Like, it's not just running around. You're not playing against basically bots. You actually got to play smart. People are going to shoot back, and it's going to be some tough one-on-one matches. But I think if I were to play competitively, I would have to be a Slayer as well, because there's no way that I could just sit back with a bomb or try and pull flags and always die.
Yeah, I've seen some of the best players play objective and still go like really negative and stuff, you know, and it starts to get to their morale a little bit. But
yeah, and I don't know. It's just it'd be something for me to. I just think it'd be hard for me to put up those kind of numbers.
Yeah.
But so talking about pro play and stuff like that, you want to talk a little bit how you got started or how you became a pro, like the steps you took, stuff like that?
Yeah, 2008, I think Call of Duty came out, November of 2007, Call of Duty 4 came out, I'm sorry.
Right.
And ever since then, I think maybe in December or January, I started playing public matches, and one of my friends was like, hey, you should check out the site called Game Battles, see what that has to offer. And I remember I was like, all right, well, I'm pretty good at pubs, you know what I mean? I would always like try to put up big numbers and like domination and stuff. And I remember we signed up on the ladder, me and two of my friends, and we were just running like 3v3s all the time. And we found ourselves like actually doing well, you know? And then they had a tournament, which was the Pro Circuit ladder coming up. We're like, hey, we should really try to play in that and see what we could do. And we ended up going over strats and picking up one other player, and we ended up placing third overall in the first Pro Circuit ladder ever for Call of Duty.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then we placed fourth the second one, and then we won the third one, and that was right before the nationals. So that was a pretty big accomplishment. And then ever since then, we just started playing in every tournament we could and winning everything. So.
Yeah, talking a little bit about strats and stuff like that. You want to go into kind of what you need to be a pro player, like the steps you need to take? Because I know personally, like playing with pros and especially like Call of Community tournament, like all the call outs, you got to know routes, you got to have, like we talked about earlier, roles on the team. So you want to talk a little bit about that? Maybe like if people are interested in becoming a pro or just playing more competitively, let's say, like what steps should they take?
I mean, you want to find people that are dedicated and have the same goal and desire as you to, I guess, play competitive and compete at whether it's game battles, any tournaments, or go to an MLG event. And then with those same players, you just want to go over callouts, and that's the funnest part because you can make up your own callouts. And after that is when strategies come in to where you can come over like breakouts. You can go over what else? Like just strats and setup points and
choke points and stuff like that.
Yeah, anything like that. And then you just want to play. You want to be as active as possible. Like you want to play with your team like 99% of the time. Go into competitive playlists, get on game battles, do the ladder until you feel that you're ready to make an impact and actually go to MLG events. So. Right.
Are there like anything else? Like, are there any other tournaments or anything like that these guys can get into?
Yeah, every week, 360icons.com has a tournament, and that ranges from amateur teams to pro teams. On my channel, I do like a promo video every week and kind of like say, hey, there's another tournament and stuff like that. But also Game Battles has tournaments, I think, weekly for every game, not only just Black Ops. And then I know that there's other like smaller websites that are trying to like grow. Strictly Business has one coming up. If you're if your subs are trying to play like ASAP, then there's one this weekend they can sign up on.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
Speaking of your channel, if you guys are interested, FoRePLay's channel link will be in the description. And do you want to talk a little bit, maybe like what people can expect on your channel? I know that I've watched all of FoRePLay's videos, but I've learned just ridiculous stuff like grenade spots, strats, places to run, places to where to run to kill people because you're a Slayer, and I think that I'm kind of a Slayer myself. But what do people expect if they're gonna head on over to your channel?
Yeah, when I first started it, my goal was to cater to towards not only the pro scene, but also people just from YouTube, I guess, and other just fans of Call of Duty. So my channel is gonna have this episode we do weekly called The Playground, and that's basically just like where we take a map and we break it down exactly how we feel it should be played from not only Team Envious but just other pros. We do a thing called the pro scene, which that is Holiday Doc is commentator for MLG. He commentates over one of my gameplay so you can learn callouts, etc. And then if you're more into just public matches and stuff, we do a thing called Till Infinity, which is just like me playing for that week and then putting like an edit behind it. And then obviously we're going to have some crazy montages and stuff like that. But that's pretty much all I got going on at the moment. So
yeah, I mean, if you guys like competitive gameplay, I just love watching you play because every time I watch you play, I learn a little, just something new, another route to run, and it's competitive gaming is a completely different playstyle, which a lot of people don't understand. They still think that they can run around and just mow over bots, and you don't have to play smart. And I think one of the biggest things I learned from you is like if you get into an engagement with somebody, and let's say you're not able to finish them off, you don't go right back in and try and kill them. Which, from my perspective, like playing public matches all the time, like if I don't kill somebody, I'll run right back in there and try and kill them. And playing, like I've played a few game battles matches lately, and then that Call of Community tournament, I just got fucking owned.
And that's the problem though, because when you play like public matches, sometimes those kids they just run around with no eyes, like and you can come back out and kill them. But if you play competitive against top teams, there's just no way, because most people wait for you to make the first move, and if you try to step back out, whether it's through a doorway or window or anything like that, you're not going to stand a chance. So you just got to engage gunfights that you feel confident in. And sometimes it's playing a little bit more campy or smart, but at the end of the game, it's going to be well worth it, So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the hardest transition, well, at least for me, and I think it will be for a lot of people. It's just a different way to play, man, and it's a lot, I wouldn't say slower because I think it's actually faster, but you don't get as many kills, except for you in this game. You just went absolutely off.
Yeah.
Usually it's not that not that intense.
Yeah, I think like if you're playing like a pro versus other people inside of a playlist, you can run around like that. You know what I mean? But if I was playing against like another pro team, it'd be hard for me to put up 40-some kills with 8 deaths or whatever it was. You know?
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. So, do you want to talk real quick before the end of the video of like why we think competitive gameplays are so much more interesting to watch? I know from my perspective, I almost cannot watch any more just pub matches like those 70 and 0s or 150 and 0s.
It's just because I think it's oversaturated. You know, I think the pro scene is on the come up, and like if you watched MLG Anaheim this weekend, they had 30 million views. You know, so I think people are starting to be more aware of pro gaming, and once you have like teams going against each other with strats and you have $10,000 on the line, you know what I mean, it's going to be more intense and it's going to be more interesting, and there's like a hype factor, and it's actually good to see like MLG growing, you know, because I remember 2 years ago all you'd hear is, oh, that's so nerdy and that's so this and that, but you know, at the end of the day we're all playing the same game. So yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people saying that MLG was super nerdy. I wouldn't watch it, wouldn't do anything, and just recently I started getting it. I think I like caught one MLG match and I was just blown away. I was like, wow, I was a massive tool for not liking this before.
Actually, funny thing is, I think I was one of those guys too before Call of Duty 4. I'm like, why would you play it? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? But
yeah, exactly. I think it's one of those things that you don't know what it is until you actually watch an event, you go to an event, or you play a competitive type match. Because like I know that when I was playing these game battles matches or the Call of Community tournament, my hands start sweating, man. And I don't get that when I play pub matches.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Like, there's no crazier feeling than like clutching like a 1v4 in front of God knows how many people, you know, whether it's on a live stream or whether it's like at an event, or, you know, because that's like your team relying on you, like 1v4 clutch and S&D, like people are gonna, you know, people are gonna start screaming. So
yeah, and even though game battles really isn't for much, you know, you get a win, you get a loss, but it's still an accomplishment.
Yeah, I agree.
But that is the end of the video. You went 40 something and 11 deaths or something like that, something ridiculous. But I just want to thank you very much for coming on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, if you guys want to see more, let me know. And don't forget to check out FoRePLayy's channel.
All right, for sure.
Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, take care, guys.